Hi everyone, my name's Michele and I just figured I would post my video in regards to my Crohn's journey. I've always had stomach problems, but really started experiencing problems, about 9 years ago, shortly after the birth of my daughter. When she was born, she was 4 weeks old. I had to go in for emergency surgery and have my gallbladder removed. That was quite crazy on top of having just had a C-section, so I went through that. And then I started having the diarrhea and problems like that, and they just kind of brushed it off to it was stomach problems due to, all the hormone changes, blah, 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 with pregnancy. Well, then it continued, and I just kind of accepted it. Then I got pregnant with my son. During my pregnancy with my son, I felt awesome. Everything stopped, no diarrhea. It was wonderful. Then I had my son, and everything just hit me full force. Then he was born in 2005. So 2005, about the end of the year, I started having problems again. So my gynecologist actually thought it was just endometriosis and causing problems. So I went on birth control, tried all that, and it worked for a little bit. Then everything came back. In 2009, was it 2009? 2008, I was in a bad car wreck on my way to work. I hit some black ice, lost control of the car, ended up getting pretty seriously injured from that. My main injury was my whole intestines were bruised from my seatbelt, and my doctor immediately put me on a liquid diet. When I went on the liquid diet, I ended up having to stay on that for 9 months because anytime I tried to eat, I could not digest any food. Would put me in tears and cramp, and it just wasn't worth it to me. So we continued that, and they thought, oh, well, you have stomach ulcers and everything. So I've tried every kind of stomach medicine. I just kept telling the doctor something's not right. It's just not right. I ended up having, in 2009, had a severe flare before I was diagnosed, and ended up in the hospital for a week. They did go in, and they thought it was my appendix, so they went in to remove my appendix. And the doctor said, well, I got in there, and there were some crazy-looking adhesions, so we cleaned all that, and I think it was just from you having your C-sections, so we got that all cleaned out. Your appendix was great, so I did not remove it. So he left my appendix, and I spent a week in the hospital recovering. Then in 2010, we had the opportunity to move to Washington, which is where I'm from, and we got up here, and it was probably 2 months after we got here. We got here in October, and it was January, so about 2 months. I started vomiting every day, diarrhea every day, bloody diarrhea a lot, and went to a new primary care doctor, and I had lost 27 pounds in 3 weeks. So she said, there is more going on here, and we need to get you to a GI doctor. So finally someone believed me that there was more going on and something else needed to be done. So went to the GI, and he instantly, my very first appointment, said, I already know you have Crohn's disease. He said, by looking at your lab work, by looking at your previous medical records, everything that I have, you have Crohn's, but we're going to do a colonoscopy and double check and stuff. So had a colonoscopy. That was in June of 2011. Came out, of course, with all the crazy pictures, the inflamed intestines and everything, and so he put me on Pentasa. That didn't work. That actually made me worse. So he said, well, let's do the pill camera and take a look at your small intestines, because maybe you have more problems in your small intestines. So went and did the pill camera, where you swallow the pill, and wear the contraption on your side and take it back to the doctor. They download everything. He called me, and he actually called me at 8 o'clock at night, so I was pretty scared when he called me, and he said, well, I wanted to talk to you, but I didn't want you to have to come into the office for an office visit, but my small intestine was severely inflamed from the Crohn's. So he said with the severity of my case, he was actually afraid and didn't want to start me on anything but Pentasa, and he also added Entocort because I can't take prednisone. Yay! But so I tried that, and then I told him he basically told me if I started any medications, I would be dead within a year. So that really scared me. So I told him I would really appreciate a second opinion. He did refer me to the University of Washington, which is where I currently go for my GI. I see Dr. Scott Lee, and he is so amazing. I went in there, did all my blood work and everything. He did a check on me. Did go over, Humira, Remicade, everything with me. I'm not able to take Remicade because I'm allergic to mice, and it's made from mice protein. So I opted to start Humira. I started Humira. It took a few months before that took effect for me. He did, after about 4 months, add azathioprine to my medical regime. So I was taking Humira and azathioprine. After about 9 months, started doing better, and then all of a sudden I had severe vomiting, everything. I did end up with a partial blockage. He immediately had me go to the hospital, get fluids, everything, to take care of me. He was out of town, but he was in contact with me over the phone and email. So I got that straightened out, went back on liquid diet for 3 weeks. The 3 weeks, at the end of the 3 weeks, I went in and had another colonoscopy done. The colonoscopy still showed a lot of inflammation and everything, so he upped my azathioprine, increased my Humira shot to every 10 days at that time, so we could see if that would make a difference. I was on Humira. I started in December of 2011. In December of 2012, my body started rejecting the azathioprine, and I was also increased to Humira weekly because it would wear off about 8 days. So he increased me to weekly. When the azathioprine, my body started rejecting that. I couldn't move. My joints were locked up. So he immediately had me come off of the azathioprine. I had to come off the azathioprine for 2 weeks, and then I did start methotrexate. I started methotrexate at the end of January of 2013, and the combination of the two has been amazing. I haven't had diarrhea but 3 days since January, and right now I've been very, very tired, so the doctor did lower my methotrexate dose to the maintenance dose, which is a half cc, starting this week, so I'll do that. But he's also currently running a bunch of blood work to check my thyroid. He's concerned about that. So it took me 8 years to get my diagnosis. So I'm telling you, if you don't have your diagnosis, just hang in there and keep fighting for yourself. And be thankful that you found this website, because everybody here, it's like a huge family. Even though we don't personally know each other, everybody's there for support, whether it's Sharon or Tommy, Aaron, anybody. So everybody, it's just like we're one big happy family. And I hope everybody has a wonderful year. And now everybody else needs to post their video. So let's get to it, guys. Have a great 2013. Love you guys.